Okay, so I was feeling really good about myself until I realized that 2009 had a D portion that also had math, and I did not include that in the previous video. So, D asks you to calculate the minimum number of cows the farm would need to produce 800,000 kilowatt hours of electricity. So, to be able to explain this to you, I kind of have to take you back to the 4th grade, which is, well, I guess a recurring theme. But anyway, I'm sure you guys remember doing this, but at some point in your past, you've had a teacher that kind of explained something like this. You know, if you can get 3 sodas for $6, all right, and then you want to figure out how many dollars 7 sodas would cost. You basically can set up 2 fractions, and how much is it going to cost for the 7 sodas, and make them equal. And then what you do is you cross multiply, and then you divide, and you find X, right? So I pay $6 for 3 sodas. How many dollars I'm going to pay for 7 sodas? That's the math problem that I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to take 6 times 7 and get 42, and then 3x, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and then 42 divided by 3 happens to be 14. So 7 sodas are going to cost $14. Alright, so on that same kind of track of thinking, the question asks, calculate the minimum number of cows that you need for 800 kilowatt hours of electricity. Well, the thing is about that, I know that 500 cows, because I already solved for this, 500 cows, which is 5 times 10 to the second, and can give me 5.475 times 10 to the 5th kilowatt hours. And you actually solved that in part 1, or I, of C. And so basically, I don't know how many cows can produce 800,000, which is 8 times 10 to the 5th kilowatt hours. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So I have 5 times 10 to the second multiplied by 8 times 10 to the 5th, and that's going to be equal to 5.475 times 10 to the 5th and x. Okay, so first let me simplify. 5 times 8 is 40, and I'm going to add my exponents, and that's 10 to the 7th, which is going to be 4 times 10 to the 8th, and that's going to be equal to 5.475 times 10 to the 5th times x. So I still don't have x isolated yet, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5.475 times 10 to the 5th. Alright, and so this goes away. I'm left with x, and this is what it's equal to. So I'm going to subtract my exponents and get 10 to the 3rd. And I'm going to kind of leave that hanging, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do my division problem. I basically have 4 divided by 5.475. Now, I've told y'all this before, but remember you can't have a decimal in the one on the outside. So I'm going to need to move that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so my math problem that I'm dealing with here is going to be 5,475 into 4,000. So 5,475 won't go into 4 or 40 or 400 or 4,000 even, but it will go into 40,000. Let me get my line here. It will go into 40,000 7 times. So 7 times 5 is 35, And there's my 3. Sorry, kind of lost you there. Let's see. Oh, 7 times 7 is 49, plus 3 is 52. And then 7 times 4 is 28, plus 5 is 33. And there's my 3, and so that's going to be 35 plus 3 is 38. Alright, so I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to get this, because I've already done it. And basically I had to make this a 10, and I had to borrow for all these guys. Alright. Next I have to drop down my 0 again. Alright, and 5,475 is going to go into 16,007. Excuse me, I already have a 0 here. That's my fault. 1 second. Okay, sorry. When I subtracted, I got actually, I had my place value off. I apologize. I had 1,675. And then I'm going to drop my 0. And then that will go into here 3 times. And that gives me 16,425 when I multiply. And when I subtract, I'm going to get 325. And I'm going to bring down another 0. And that actually won't go in. 5,475 actually won't even go into 3,250 after I bring the 0 down. So that's going to be a 0 there. And then the next number, after I drop down another 0, is going to be a 5. And that's going to give me 28,175. Anyway, it asked me to round to the nearest cow. And so I'm seeing this here. And it's times 10 to the 3rd. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's going to give me 730.5. So if I want to go to the nearest cow, I can stop now. So 730. When I move my decimal 3 times is what I'm going to get. 1, 2, 3, because of this guy. And so 730.5, or to the nearest whole cow is 731 cows. You can't have part of a cow. Even this, if this had said 0.2, I would still need 731 cows. And that's how you do the part D.